In this video, we'll delve into the treacherous depths of the Paris Catacombs, where unsuspecting explorers have encountered true horrors beyond imagination. Brace yourself as we unravel 3 haunting tales, each more disturbing than the last, revealing the untold darkness lurking beneath the surface. I still remember feeling scared as I went down into the dark Paris catacombs. It was the 1990s, and a group of us wanted to explore this spooky underground place. We didn't know what scary things we'd find there. As we went further in, we used our flashlights to see, but the light was weak. Then something really spooky happened. We found an abandoned video camera on the cold stone floor. We were confused and wondered who had left it there. We couldn't see anyone around. We couldn't resist our curiosity, so we gathered around to watch what was recorded on the camera. As the footage started playing, we were immediately gripped by the creepy sounds coming from the speakers. It was clear that the person who held the camera was lost and really scared. His fear and confusion came through the screen, making us feel uncomfortable. The atmosphere in the video felt heavy and made us uneasy. We felt more and more uneasy as we watched the camera move through the winding passages of the catacombs. The walls were made of bones, towering over us like silent guards. The light from the camera flickered, creating strange shadows that seemed to dance in a creepy way. Each step the person behind the camera took echoed loudly, as if they were being chased by something terrifying. The walls seemed to close in on us, and the darkness felt heavy and suffocating. Suddenly, the video ended abruptly, leaving us shocked and unsettled. The person who recorded the video had dropped the camera, their hands trembling with fear. We wondered who this person was and what had happened to them. It was a mystery that hung in the air, leaving us haunted by unanswered questions. But our adventure in the catacombs wasn't over yet. Local legends whispered about supernatural secrets hidden within the catacombs. People said that after midnight, something eerie would happen. The walls themselves would come to life with voices. These voices would whisper dark promises to anyone unfortunate enough to hear them. They'd lure unsuspecting individuals further into the mortuary, where they'd ultimately get lost forever, swallowed by the endless darkness. As midnight approached, we felt a mix of fear and morbid curiosity. We wondered if we should listen to the walls, hoping to hear something supernatural. The air became thick and heavy, as if something otherworldly was present. And then it happened. A soft, eerie murmur that seemed to come from the bones that surrounded us. The voices whispered in a tempting way, calling us to explore further into the catacombs. We felt a chill run down our spines, torn between the excitement of the unknown and the overwhelming fear that held us back. Deep inside, we knew that going forward would bring us harm, but the temptation was too strong to resist. However, we managed to make a rational decision and turned away from the malicious embrace of the catacombs. As we hurriedly retreated, the whispers grew louder, filled with anger, as if they had lost their prey once again. Even now, the memory of that night sends shivers down my spine. It was a night when the walls seemed to speak, and the terror of a lost soul still echoes through the catacombs. I woke up in a place that was completely dark, and it made me very scared. I felt cold, and the ground I was sitting on felt wet. I tried really hard to see, but there was nothing except darkness all around me, and it felt like it was suffocating me. I started to panic because I realized that I was lost in the underground tunnels of the Paris Catacombs. It all started with a harmless idea. My friend and I had heard stories about the catacombs and how they were eerie. We loved seeking thrills and looking for exciting things to do, so we made a decision to explore the forbidden depth beneath the streets of Paris. We discovered one of the hidden entrances to the maze. It was like a secret passage that led us deep into the earth. With each step we took, the air around us became colder, and there was a heavy silence that made us feel burdened. It felt as if we were going into a place that had never been touched by light or time. As we went deeper into the catacombs, the narrow tunnels twisted and turned, creating a maze that felt like a complicated puzzle. The walls were covered with the bones of 6 million people, reminding us that everyone eventually dies. Whispers filled the darkness, sharing secrets from the past and making us feel scared. We didn't know how far we had gone or which way to go. The catacombs seemed to go on forever, like an underground kingdom for the deceased. The shaky light from our flashlights made the bones look like they were moving, almost as if they were alive and observing us. Time didn't make any sense down there. We were hungry and tired, but we didn't know how long we'd been wandering. We shouted for help, but our voices disappeared in the darkness, leaving us feeling completely alone. Barking echoed through the catacombs, growing louder and desperate. Then we spotted rescue dogs with glowing eyes, offering hope. Relief flooded over us. The rescue team led our escape to the surface. Shaking from cold and fatigue, we were rushed to the hospital. The ordeal was over, but haunting memories of those eerie tunnels would forever haunt us. Back in 2004, I was part of a group of police officers who went on a really memorable adventure in the Paris Catacombs. It was an expedition that I'll always remember because of the scary things we experienced and the mysteries we couldn't explain. When we went into a part of the catacombs that was off limits, we started hearing creepy barking sounds from guard dogs. It made us all feel really uneasy, and we couldn't figure out why we were hearing those spooky noises in these secret catacombs. Even though the atmosphere was eerie, we didn't let it stop us. We kept exploring, and then came across something that just didn't make sense. We found a huge network of galleries that covered an area of about 3,000 square feet. What puzzled us was that there were telephone lines connected to pirated electricity. We couldn't understand why someone had set up these strange things down here. It left us feeling confused and unable to find a logical explanation. As we walked through the catacombs, we couldn't help but look up at the ceiling. It was covered in strange symbols like swastikas, Celtic crosses, and Stars of David all mixed together. It was a confusing and unsettling sight. We wondered if there was a secret group or a mysterious organization hiding in these underground tunnels. The truth remained a mystery, hidden within the ancient walls of the catacombs. Our journey into this dark and eerie place happened by accident. We were doing a training exercise below the Palais de Chaillot when we stumbled upon this unexpected discovery. We entered the catacombs through a drain near the Trocadero, driven by our curiosity to explore further. There was a tarpaulin with a sign that said, "No access," but instead of scaring us away, it made us even more determined to uncover the secrets that lay ahead. As we moved past the barrier, we came across a creepy tunnel. Inside, there was a desk and a surveillance camera silently watching our every move. The camera triggered a recording of aggressive dog barks, probably meant to scare us and make us turn back. But we didn't let fear stop us. We were determined to keep going, even though we didn't know what awaited us in the darkness ahead. We walked through the tunnel and found ourselves in a huge underground room that looked like a theater. The seats were arranged in rows, facing a big screen where movies could be shown. On the dusty shelves, there were many different film tapes. It was amazing, but also creepy. It made us feel a mix of fascination and fear. We couldn't understand why this underground place existed or who had created it. It seemed like someone had deliberately kept it a secret. Next to the theater, we discovered a smaller cave that had been turned into a strange gathering area. There were tables and chairs, as if people had been there before, but everything was abandoned and covered in dust. On a makeshift bar, we saw bottles of whiskey and other drinks, as well as a pot used for cooking couscous. It seemed like secret parties or gatherings had taken place in this hidden underground space. What added to the mystery were the professional electricity connections and multiple phone lines that had been set up there. A few days later, we decided to return to the catacombs, this time with experts from the French Electricity Board, hoping to figure out where the power for this underground space came from. As we went deeper underground, a strange silence surrounded us. We realized that the phone lines and electricity connections had been cut off. In the middle of the floor, there was a chilling note that echoed our own fears. Don't try to find us.